Many people are familiar with the term medical tourism. Medical tourism is where people who live in one country and who travel to another country to receive medical, dental, or surgical care while receiving equal to or greater care than they would in their own country. And they are traveling affordably as well. It has become very popular for many U.S. citizens, specifically between the ages 18 and 75. There are many major facts that come into play when it comes to medical tourism. Things such as money, personal risks, why people choose it, and advantages and disadvantages. Firstly, I'm going to start with money. Insurers and employers have liked the idea of saving money, and in this case, they would be able to save lots of money. According to a recent Deloitte report, Thailand, which is the world's leading medical tourism place, they saw 1.2 million medical tourists from 2006 from all kinds of people around the world. Medical procedures in Thailand cost 30% of American prices. India is another destination that is popular, and they see more than 400,000 medical tourists every year. They charge just 20% as much as American prices. Mexico and South America are also popular places for cosmetic and dental surgery every year. These ones cost from 75 to 50% less than American prices. Data from the University of Delaware have more specific numbers, such as heart valve replacement heart valve replacement would cost $200,000 more in the U.S., and in India it would be only $10,000. If you think that that's crazy, then they throw in a round trip and a vacation on top of that, which is it's included in it, which is crazy. Another example would be a metal-free dental bridge would cost $5,000, and in the U.S. it would cost $500. Or in the U.S. it would be $5,500, and then in India it would be only $500. LASIK eye surgery is $3,700 in the U.S., and then in other countries it would only be $730. And even greater savings on cosmetic surgery are even more. A full facelift would usually cost $20,000 in the U.S. and only runs about $1,250 in South Africa. Most insurers don't care too much about the cosmetic surgeries, more so for the medical ones such as heart procedures, coronary artery bypass graft, heart valve replacement, pacemakers, orthopedic procedures, and laparoscopic surgery. The McKinsey & Co. company estimate that increased medical tourism over the next few years can save increased medical tourism over the next few years can save healthcare purchasers as much as $20 billion in benefit payouts. This is crazy. It's a lot. Secondly, personal risks that you take in doing medical tourism. One downside to medical tourism is that if anything goes wrong for these patients receiving medical care outside their country during the surgery, there is nothing that can legally be done about it. In an article from Health Beat by Maggie Moore, she tells a story of one patient from 2007 who wrote this: U.S. Embassy in Bangkok describing how horrific her experience was. In her words, she describes, "I have been scared, mutilated, and disfigured by offshore plastic surgery in Thailand." She was appalled at what she saw in the mirror when she pulled off her bandages. It is definitely not the procedure that she wanted, and so she complained. The doctor would not write her a refund, would not give her a refund of her money, or even pay to have somebody else fix her surgery that they had messed up on. She attempted to report this incident to the government and professional medical associations, and unfortunately, she was ignored. She was even ignored by the Thailand Medical Council and the Thailand College of Surgeons and the Medical Association of Thailand. She even hired an attorney, and he wouldn't even contact her for several weeks after he had reviewed her case. There are many other stories along with this one, but James Stuzen, in a 2006 Fox News segment, sums it all up by saying the liability and the responsibility that physicians have to their patients in America is very high, and that doesn't necessarily exist in foreign countries if you have a problem. Thirdly, is why people choose to do it. Medical tourism seeks to take advantage of lower costs and wages is less developed in less developed countries. For example, in higher cost countries such as Japan and Europe, people often seek treatment in less developed countries at a lower cost than what they can get at home. It also even speeds the process because people don't want to wait to do their surgeries where they live. Fourthly, the advantages and disadvantages. Now, there are more disadvantages to medical tourism than there are advantages. There's only a couple. To start out with, the advantages. Like I explained before, lower cost is definitely a big one. It's probably number one why people do it, because they only want to get it half off, basically. Many doctors that are from a different country were educated in the U.S., which is a good thing. It kind of puts a little bit more trust in the doctors that you're going to Asia for, or South Africa, or wherever. I wouldn't trust them, to be honest with you. There are many disadvantages, such as number one, being different or non-existent medical standards. There are many common processes the U.S. patients take for granted, like sterilization, purity blood supply, and non-reuse of hypodermic needles. So, which means that if you get it out of the country, all of this happens. None of the needles are sterilized. There's not really anything there to help you. If you die, then, they can't really do anything about it. Number two, risks inherent in foreign travel. Which means communication problems being one. If you can't understand what they're saying, then it's probably not a very good idea to be doing it in the first place. And local customs and practices will not be comprehended. Number three, long-term follow-up. Being in another country is hard to do follow-ups if you're 900,000 miles away, or however long it is. And even in the U.S., they won't even do follow-ups unless it's like an emergency, if you're dying or not. And that kind of goes with legally. They can't really do anything legally about it, basically because they don't really want to deal with it since it was out of the country. Number four, lack of legal recourse. Like I just had explained, it is extremely difficult. Laws in foreign countries may not be malpractice friendly. Number five, medical procedures that are uncovered or unapproved by your insurance. There are always exclusions like infertility or advanced stage cancer procedures. They will not be covered by insurance and be expensive in the U.S. All in all, like everything else, healthcare is going global, definitely. In conclusion, for insurers and employees, lots of money will be saved on medical tourism, but many risks are going to be taken from the patients, and there is nothing that can or will be done about them, meaning legally. I have also explained why many people have chosen this path, because it's a cheaper way to get cosmetic surgery or any other surgery that you need, such as heart surgery or coronary surgery, anything like that. Lastly, I want you to keep in mind before you decide medical tourism is for you, which it's not for me, that there are more disadvantages than there are advantages. Undoubtedly, medical tourism will become more popular as time goes on, unfortunately. Thank you.